Hey everybody, Roxabox90 here with the Cons of Tarkir full limited set review, part 2. We're going into all the blue cards today from my perspective to give you a little bit of sense of how I prepare for limited and hopefully give you a better sense of what's really good, really bad, and hopefully kind of average for your pre-release event that's coming up next week. So we have starting out Blinding Spray, 5 for an instant. Creatures your opponent control get 4-, 0- until end of turn. Draw a card. I think it's a bit expensive. It's basically a fog for 5 with a draw card. I mean, maybe it's because it's instant speed, you can use it as a major combat trick to swing combat in your advantage and not lose anything. So you could trade with your opponents, but for 5 mana, it seems a bit expensive. Cancel is cancel. We've seen it before. It's okay in limited. Clever Personator is insane. I definitely think it's still strong in limited, not just in every other format imaginable, because someone else has huge bombs. They're your bombs. Very reasonable, awesome card. Crippling Chill. It's okay. It's a fine tempo move. The cantrip makes it basically 2 to tap a creature. It doesn't untap. That's okay. It's not a bad card. Dig Through Time is hard for me to judge in limited. I'd like to think that drawing 2 cards and looking at the top 7 is a nice way of getting rid of too many lands and stuff like that, but it does cost 8, and in limited that seems a bit much. Not sure what to make of it yet for limited. Disdainful Stroke seems really good. You counter any of their spells after turn 3 or 4 for 2 mana. Seems very, very strong. Dragon's Eye Savants, I kind of like it for limited. Being able to look at your opponent's hand is very nice, and an 0/6 for 2 mana is a strong wall anyway. I think it's pretty good, especially if you're running a more behind defensive control build. Embodiment of Spring, it's alright, it's fine. I guess I'd look at it more as a 3 mana Farseek, which is okay. But I guess it's 1 for an 0/3 is not a bad defender against the more aggressive strategies. I'm not quite sure if I like it though. It seems okay, being able to put itself away later game. Force Way, 2 mana for unsummoned, that they're really bumping to 2 mana because of its ferocious, that it acts as a cantrip also. It seems fine. It seems like a good tempo move if you are running ferocious focused deck. Glacial Stalker, I don't like. 4/5 for 6, that's really boring and I don't think it's all that good. Icy Blast, tap X target creatures. This card, if you have a good deal of ferocious, then it can be a pretty big blowout at instant speed. So yeah, pretty cool card, I guess. Jeskai Elder, I don't like her that much. I know some people have thought she's decent, but I don't like her that much. The requirement of the prowess to make her good is too much of a risk for me given her small size. Jeskai Wind Scout, however, has evasion, which I like. So 3 for 2/1 flying is fine, and then the prowess is just an added bonus. I think it's a fine limited card. Kero Spell Snatcher. If the format is slower, which I can't really judge 100% until I see it in action, but if it is slower, this guy could be a big deal. Putting him into Morph with so many Morph cards out there that support Morph, and then being able to flip them up for 6 at any time to take their biggest spell you can play for free, seems pretty good to me in that sense. Obviously, if the format is actually quicker, which I don't think it is with the 3-color focus, I think he will be a surprisingly useful limited card. Misfire Weaver, I like that you can morph up and your opponent can't respond to that morph up. I mean, it can somehow maybe prevent the ability. I don't think there's any real cards that do that though. Being able to protect a creature from removal for 3 mana and have a 3/1 flyer for 3 seems good as a morph card. 4 for a 3/1 flying is meh, it's okay, but if you can use it as a morph card, I think it's actually quite decent. Monastery Flock, 0/5 defender flying. Most of the flyers don't have more than 5 power, which means that at least as a defender goes, you'd be in good shape, and I like that you can unmorph it to prevent flying. I like that. Mystic of the Hidden Way, 3/2 for 5 that can't be blocked. If there was a lot better equipments in the set, this card would be particularly good. As is, it's fine. It's alright. Pearl Lake Ancient is huge bomb, amazing. We've talked about him. He's a great limited card. If you get him, try to run him. He's pretty darn good. Quiet Contemplation is interesting. I don't like that you have to commit 3 mana to it, and then, and only then, once you cast another spell, then you have to pay more mana. It seems like a mana sink, which could be good in a slower limited format. So I would give it a chance. It's a strong card if the format's slow enough. River Wheel Aerialists. Yeah, 6 for a 4/5 flying prowess. It seems okay. 6 for a 4/5 flying is alright, and then the prowess is just a bonus, so it seems good. Scald Kin is pretty awful, I think. Even the ability to throw it at something, still, 2/2 flyer for 4, it's too much. Sign of the Glaciers is also pretty boring and not all that great. It's cool that you can flip his power toughness around, but I don't like him. Set Adrift. 6 mana for a sorcery speed, slightly better Griptide with Delve. It seems like very expensive, even with the Delve as an investment goes. Singing Bell Strike, a slightly cooler pacifism. I think it's pretty decent. I think it's a pretty decent one, especially for decks that are running aggressive, like ferocious style decks. Stubborn Denial is fine, a little bit narrow. I don't know if I'd run it as a main board, maybe as a sideboard. Tie Game Scheming seems good if you're running Sultai. That's about it. Thousand Winds, huge bomb, amazing. Treasure Cruise, I don't like. Water Will seems a bit much. I kind of wish it was 5 mana. Even though it's a cool tempo play, I still think it's a bit too much. Weave Fate is a 4 mana divination. It's not that great. Even though it's an instant, yes, I see that it's an instant, but it does cost 4 mana. Wetland Saber is bleh, it's not good. And Whirlwind Adept is deceptively good because of the prowess and hexproof, but I think it is a little bit much. So those are the blue cards for Khans of Tarkir. What do you guys think of the set for limited, particularly the blue cards you just went over? Put it down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, check and subscribe for more of the Khans of Tarkir full set review coming to you real soon. As always, Rocks the Box at 90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.